So, oh my god, where have I been? I missed me too. So, okay, as you know, the weather's getting warmer, which means all of that flower demon spawn is in the air, fucking up my face. I can hardly keep my eyes open for like days at a time. So I couldn't shoot any videos, and I know I'm way behind. I am behind 2 episodes of Drag Race reviews, and I'm behind 2 episodes of Teen Wolf reviews. And I'm sorry, I gotta hammer them out, but that's what happened. Allergies kicked my ass, and there's nothing I could do about it. Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick shout out to my new favorite online entertainment website / blog. It's tomandlorenzo.com. That's tomandlorenzo.com. I don't know why I'm just now discovering them, because they're amazing. Their website is great. They have amazing content. I love everything they give you on their website. tomandlorenzo.com. They produce wonderful, amazing photo recaps of every Drag Race episode. They have great photo qualities. Without them, I probably wouldn't have half the photos on some of my videos, because they produce such great work. If you see the TLOs at the bottom of the photos, that's straight from tomandlorenzo.com. I hope they don't mind. I love their work. I just wanted to give them a shout out because I use their photos and I share their love for RuPaul's Drag Race. I love their website. I love their commentaries. They're always right on. And I just had to give them a shout out because they're my new favorite website. I have to go to it every single day. It's tomandlorenzo.com. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Subscribe, comment on their recaps. They're amazing. All right, I'll check y'all later. Today I want to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race episode 4, entitled Shade the Rusical. Yes, Shade the Rusical. That happened 2 episodes before, and I gotta tell you, it was a freaking awesome episode because they did a live singing Broadway show, which is kind of, you know, pretty ballsy, and it was pretty cool. So we pick up after Vivacious elimination, and what better way to begin any episode than with Gia Gunn being shady, which she loves to do. She loves these queens getting knocked off one by one, and little does she know she's probably one of the next ones to go, but don't tell her that. And I love April because she was in the bottom 2, and she's saying it was a wake-up call for her, and the other queens better watch out. The other bitches better watch out because it was a wake-up call. It's like, hee hee hee. I shouldn't have watched this episode fully yet because we already know what happens to April. So then Gia starts de-dragging, and she's of course a lady boy, and she starts fondling herself, and Bianca's like, what is this, a Whitesnake video? It's like, hey, Tawny Katane. And Gia says she's feeling her oats. She's like, I'm feeling my oats. Let me feel my oats. And I've heard of, like, sowing your wild oats, but I've never heard of feeling them. I'll have to ask Gia to explain that. But then Bianca warns that Fish, Gia, won't win this competition because Fish floats on top of the water, dead. So it's like ominous, them fighting words. So back to the workroom the next day, and the young queens are skipping and whooping in, and Bianca's looking fab but irritated, and I probably would be too. And because, you know, Laganja and Gia are just like, you know, just over the top all the time. And I'd be like, bitches, it's a little too early in the morning for this bull. And Gia keeps talking about her damn oats, and I'm like, is she a horse? And I love the moment when Laganja goes, so who's excited for today? And Bianca goes, I was until I heard your voice. I mean, I think it even got a chuckle from Gia. And then there was the mini challenge, and it was meh. They had to like identify if people in close-up photos are biological or psychological women, and female or shemale. And the only funny moments are Bianca clocking Detox's nose, and Courtney still wondering if China, the wrestler, you know, China doll, is a male or female even after being told she's a woman. Otherwise, it's pretty non-exciting, but Ben and Adore are declared the winners. Adore's really good at these mini challenges. Have y'all noticed that? She may suck at the main challenges, but she's always pretty good at the mini challenges. And then thus, they're like the team captains for Shade the Rusical. I have to say, though, Ben Delacreme is much smarter with her picks. She picks all, like, the veteran drag racers, like Bianca, Courtney, Darian. But we all know this is really a Courtney versus Adore idol sing-off. Trinity gets picked last, or assigned to Ben. And she wants to play it safe, and she's really not invested. And, okay. It's time for me to clock Laganja. I really hate to do it, but I have to. Bitch is trying too hard. Even in her behind the scenes, she's like a caricature. She's over exaggerating all the time. And I was so team Laganja when the season started, and I even pegged her to be like in the finale, but I've had it officially. So let's get back to the challenge. Darian and Milk, they clock Gia's singing voice, and Darian compares it to like Fran Dresser getting steamrolled. And all I was thinking is, those that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, big girl. But she gets a mega clock in on Trinity when Ru asks if she had any musical theater experience. And Trinity says, yeah, in junior high. And Darian jumps in and says, yeah, but you played a tree. I was like, bitch. And then Bianca, along with the rest of the workroom, and I guess the rest of the world, like, just got weak. Because I was like, bitch, just got one on you. And can I just say that Jocelyn Fox is really growing on me? And she's a smart bitch, and she's just smart playing dumb. And when Ru asks where she's going to get her inspiration on how to play Butch, Jocelyn goes, from Bianca Del Rio. I was like, oh, the shade started even before the musical. But it was all in good fun, and Bianca would have laughed at it if she heard. So let's talk about the fuckery known as Team Dela. It's a rehearsal with Lucien Piane. Courtney is not singing out and is feeling the pressure of being like the standout singer. Gia and Darian are like being the most unfunny comedy queens, and Gia is not understanding the action she needs to perform with the lyrics. And of course, Trini is going full on Beyonce bitch mode. And throwing temper tantrums because she's uncomfortable with like the choreography and the singing, and she's just not picking up what they're throwing down, you know what I mean? And I'm sorry, I'm doing my thing again because I got my webcam today, and the camera's up here but the screen's down here, and I just really like looking at myself. But anyway, even Bianca tries to give helpful advice, which is like a rare moment of patience for her, but Trinity is just not having it. And then Team Adore doesn't have as much fuckery, but Adore's feeling the pressure being the singer as well. And April struggles bad, but she tries really hard. And she's not like Trinity because she tries, but she's just not good. And I love Gia when she talks about Trinity's struggles, going, we have about this much time and about this much stuff to do, so she better get into it. And I was like, okay, that's pretty smart. And then cue Bianca versus Trinity part like 20 as they argue about like the pacing of their choreography. And even while Bianca tries giving like constructive feedback, Trinity's always spouting off and cutting her off. And then another great moment is when they're prepping for their like Tony Awards realness looks, because that's what their main challenge runway walk is. And Gia asks, what's a Tony? And you know, I kind of find it hard to believe that a gay, especially an artsy gay that did like kabuki theater, would not know what the Tonys were. Also, I think I'm going to invent a new drinking game called Take a Shot every time Bianca does an eye roll at another contestant. And I'm thinking like we're going to have a shit ton of alcohol related deaths if this game ever catches on, because Bianca does a lot of eye rolls because there's just a lot of fuckery. I thoroughly enjoy the idol talk as the queens are getting ready. How Courtney auditioned as a boy one day and got rejected, but went in the next day in drag and made it to the finale, or made it to the finals. And how Adore or Danny Noriega was advised to tone down his gayness so people wouldn't ridicule him when he was on Idol. And it just strikes a chord in me when people are led to be ashamed of who they are and what they are. And it really saddens me because life is a constant struggle to survive. And some people endure a lot more than others, but to even waste a second of it battling things you can't control, like who you are, it's sad to me. But let me get off my little soapbox. And there was a good bonding moment when the girls are looking at Gia's kabuki photos, and Gia definitely sounded present and astute when discussing the art of kabuki. So she's another one that I think plays dumb for the camera, but sometimes she betrays it by sounding intelligent and coherent. I just have to say that the main stage presentation of Shade the Rusical was pretty amazing. Every queen to me pulled off their parts, and to be singing live and what looked to be just one take and to nail it, it was pretty impressive. I was super impressed that they decided to tackle a live performance in a Broadway-esque production. And my favorites from their performance were from Group 1, I liked Courtney, Bianca, Gia, and Dela. And I think Courtney nails the impressionable, sweet, young talent with dreams of stardom. And I liked her high notes. You know, it was very Broadway. Bianca nailed her Broadway for me too. She hammed it up, her exaggerated actions and movements. Dela was perfect as the villain in her tone and movement. And Gia was even funny doing her comedy queen and her funny ballerina-esque movements. And Trinity and Darian were like totally overshadowed by them. In Group 2, the only ones I really liked were Adore and Jocelyn. Even though Adore hit some like wonky notes, she played someone intoxicated by the promise of fame and power and fish oil pretty good. And Jocelyn sounded the most in tune out of the rest of the group. And she played her character to a higher level than I even expected. Milk to me was, I don't know, underwhelming in her role. She almost bored me. April tried her damnedest and she went for it, but it just really wasn't good. And Laganja was just there. She really didn't stand out, but she was good with her expressions, I guess. I mean, I hated the fact that they cut short the runway presentation because the Rusical bit took a good chunk of time. Because I liked most of their Tony Award looks. Bianca put together another glamorous, old Hollywood type look with like a golden sparkly dress with big white tufts on her trim and detachable cape. Her hair was red and it reminded me of like Lucille Ball. Trinity looked stunning in a purple form-fitting gown with elegant sheer train and her Beyonce hair. It was very pageant and pretty. Okay, Darian really loves green sparkly ensembles. Her first runway look was that green disaster she made from the leftover party supplies challenge. But this one was much more flattering, especially in its silhouette and the cut. And as usual, her face was beat. Gia looked flawless. She has a stunning nude form-fitting ball gown and a flared out, like almost like a mermaid dress from the knee to the floor. And she had like matching arm sleeves and a pageant updo. She looked like Miss, you know, pick your Asian country in the Miss Universe evening gown competition. Ben de la Creme wore a form-fitting red metallic dress with an exaggerated right shoulder embellishment. It looked like 3 massive flower petals, and she had matching red hair bow and black hair. Cotton Yacht looked like a pink cupcake in her very form-fitting pink Jessica Rabbit inspired dress with a high slit to expose much schleg and matching pink hair. It was a possible ode to Diamonds, Our Girl's Best Friend, Marilyn, or Material Girl Madonna. It was very feminine. Laganja looked actually very pretty in her black lacy form-fitting gown that also flared out from the knee down. So it's like another ballroom type dress. Her hair looked great, long and straight, and the raven wings on her head added a nice like cohesive touch. And her makeup kind of reminded me of like Morgan McMichaels. Jocelyn looked like a fairy tale princess, fully decked out in a princess ball gown with a prom style updo. She had a lot of hair going on. It almost looked like a bird's nest on her head, but it fit with her like entire ensemble overall, so I wasn't really mad at it. Milk came out with like a fake pregnancy belly and like a full-length body-hugging black dress, and she wore red socks, and she had her, I don't know, her like Cloris Leachman hair or Phyllis Diller hair. It was just bizarre, but it was so Milk. And then my girl Adore came out in a gown that was, you know, had silver sparkles on the top half and was flowing black in the bottom half. And the black matching like long arm gloves. I love Adore, but this outfit missed the mark for me because it just didn't look expensive, even though it probably cost a decent amount. I think I'm just bothered by her arm tattoo. It's kind of like Angelina Jolie's. You have like this otherwise sophisticated and knockout on the red carpet, but all you can focus on is like the tattoo. And it's the same with Adore. I wish maybe she used some makeup to cover it up and obscure it one time. So, Bianca, Milk, Laganja, Gia are declared safe, and they go back to the lounge, and I'll talk about that on my Untucked portion of the review, because it was some good banana shit. The top and the bottom queens get critiqued. They like Trinity's look, but Michelle slams her inability to enunciate, and Cheryl Lee Ralph, which was the guest judge, you know, for the original, you know, Dreamgirls, she tells Trinity that she should put a cork in it, like literally. And Rue mentions that Trinity wears a flapper, like they're like AKA false like teeth fronts. But you know, the cork in the mouth, it's like an exercise that I guess actors and singers do to help them enunciate. Darian was getting red for being overshadowed by Gia, and then she gets catty reading Gia. Dayla gets nitpicked by Michelle. She's got to find something wrong. Cheryl Lee loved Courtney. Michelle is clocking Adore again for not cinching her waist, but they loved her voice. And she's like, party. April gets red for her shading, especially near her forehead. And Cheryl Lee thought it looked like a beard. They said she tried really hard, but she could not pull off that big girl act. Courtney wins the challenge with Adore and Ben being at the top as well. It's arguable if Courtney should have won over Adore, but, you know, apples and oranges, I guess. So they put Trinity and April in the bottom two, and they have to lip sync to I'm Every Woman by Shaka Khan. And Trinity kills that lip sync for your life. She was moving around that stage and upstaging April. It looked like April's dress was not allowing her to really move around. And she kept having to hike it up and like hiking up her dress just to move. Trinity wins, and it's no shock there. It's like bye-bye April, and I think this is the worst showing by a Puerto Rican queen besides Madame LaQueer. I could be wrong, but I think it is. Okay, on to the good stuff. Untucked, aka the episode where I've had it officially with Laganja. So we get our save queens, Gia, Bianca, Laganja, Milk, and Jocelyn in the Interior Illusions Lounge, and they discuss who they think are in danger. Jocelyn gives a very coherent critique of April, and then Bianca discusses her problems with Trinity and how sensitive she is to criticism. And then Laganja points out that she tries not interacting with Bianca because Bianca has a mouth on her. And, you know, I'm like, she's scared of Bianca, though. And Bianca's like, great, I'm not here to be liked. This isn't Sisterhood of the Traveling Pantyhose. And Bianca is right. It's a competition. They all point to Milk and her runway outfit and wonder how she's still safe in the competition because she consistently goes down the runway looking foolish. I mean, it's her drag, and Gia points out that being in drag means you have to look like a lady. Jocelyn thinks Milk's look is organized chaos, which is a nice way of saying it's a hot mess, I think. But Gia ain't having it. She calls Milk's runway looks a 1 and her look a 10 as far as like femininity goes. And as far as Tony Award's realness goes. And I have to agree with Gia, unfortunately. Milk needs to step it up and stop being so like predictably unpredictable. Jocelyn defends Milk by calling Gia ignorant, and she gets such a clock. And Gia clocks Jocelyn's hair. Gia equates being called ignorant to being the scum of the earth, and it's the worst insult you could call her. And Jocelyn tries to clarify that she said Gia was acting ignorant in this case, not that she was ignorant. But then Gia reads Jocelyn again, saying she dressed like a little girl from a quinceañera store. I don't know who won this argument, but Gia wins the Shade Bomb Award. She was just bombing them right over top of Jocelyn. I wish Milk could defend herself better, but, you know, whatever. They travel to the gold bar, and Laganja gets the pink box surprise, and it's her parents, and it's a nice, sweet moment. And it would have been an awesome moment, but goddamn if Laganja just didn't have to ruin it by being so oversensitive and like so overindulgent and just being spoiled. I was ready to go, oh, Laganja, finally, a moment where you're like acting real and being relatable. And then you have to like rewatch it because they do inquire about her moment. And they give her a moment and they ask her how she's feeling. But then Bianca makes an innocent joke, obviously trying to lighten the mood. And even says she's kidding, something she didn't have to do. And everyone else is trying to relate to Laganja's moment with their own stories. And the editors do some fucked up editing, over-dramatizing their laughter. But then Laganja just loses me as a fan. Like, she just loses me right here. And I really wanted to root for her. I wanted her to be in the finale because she is a performer like no other. But this self-indulgent bullshit was just too much. She cries in every fucking episode and turns everything back to herself. And I find it ironic how she thinks they're riding her coattails in this moment when she does it to everyone else. I mean, she cried about how hard it was to sell out Vivacious a couple episodes before. I mean, I really can't stand her at this moment. I hope my attitude changes about her because she's talented. But for now, I mean, I even like Roxy Andrews more, and that's saying a lot. And then Bianca even takes the time out to explain why she did her little joke as a way to ease the situation and even apologize, which I'm sure is something she does not do often or even should have done because she didn't do anything wrong. Even Gia Spacey Gia says it's Bianca's character and she got it. But Laganja wanted her all-expense VIP pity party of one, and I just couldn't stand it. And that whole I'm the bird they wanted me to be line, I was like, bitch, then fly away because I can't stand you anymore at the moment. So back in the Silver Lounge, Adore is dismayed that they talked down about her dress and the fact that it was like the most expensive dress she owned. And then Trinity talks about her flipper and getting upset about the judges talking about her enunciation. And Ben really gets shady, like behind the scenes moment when she says, and Trinity was really upset about the judges talking about her inability to enunciate. At least I think that's what she was saying. I was like, bitch, oh, she got shady. And then the safe group rejoins them, and miraculously Laganja's feeling better and she's whooping it up. And I'm like, at least be consistent if you're going to act wounded. And then Adore spills the tea about Milk being overbearing and controlling when they're in the workroom getting their act together. And Adore thinks maybe Milk's past her expiration date. And it's nice to see Milk kind of mixing it up, but she's very passive in her aggression, so it kind of fell flat. And then Darian warns whoever loses to keep it brief with their final message on the mirror because it's hard to clean that shit off, and that gets a laugh from everyone. Okay, and then we know what happens next. Trinity beats April, and April goes bye-bye. Okay, so I want to revisit my prediction / first impressions video again to see my scorecard and how it is for the season so far. My predictions were thus far, Jocelyn would have been eliminated first, then Magnolia Crawford second, then Bianca Del Rio third, for shame, Gia Gunn fourth, Trinity K. Bonet fifth. So my first predictions video elimination order was Jocelyn, then Magnolia Crawford, then Bianca Del Rio, then Gia Gunn, then Trinity K. Bonet, then April Carrion, then Milk, then Adore Delano, then Darian Lake, then Ben Della Creme, and then Kelly Mantle, Cornillac, Laganja Estranja in the finale. So what has happened so far? So far, it was Kelly Mantle eliminated first. Then Magnolia Crawford second. I did get that one. Then it was Vivacious eliminated third. Then April Carrion eliminated fourth. And then we know who gets eliminated fifth. That's going to be my next video about the Snatch Game, which was awesome. So far I've only got Magnolia Crawford right. So I've got really bad stats so far. Next week, like I said, it's Snatch Game. I've already done my review for it. I just haven't filmed it, so stay with me. And I predict that my newest favorite queen, Bianca Del Rio, is going to slay this challenge and win. But I'm also loving Adore's version of Anna Nicole Smith. We can't forget Ben Della Creme. You know, she is best friends with Jinx Monsoon, and Jinx did win last year's Snatch Game. So I'm thinking if she gave any Little Edie tips and advice to Ben, then Ben should do good too. So I'm thinking maybe Jinx gave Ben Della Creme some pointers. I predict Milk and Gia are going to struggle, but we'll see. Like I said, I've already written my take on it. I just haven't filmed it. I like how I'm acting like I'm saying next week like it hasn't happened yet, but you know, for continuity's sake, just bear with me. So I'm going to do my video for the Snatch Game pretty soon, probably today too. And then of course I got to do my Teen Wolf ones. I really have to play catch up. I hate playing catch up, but I mean, I need like allergy shots because pills are not cutting it. So thanks for watching. Oh, also before I leave, I also want to promote my friend, Miss Naomi Black. She just applied for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7. So when the fan vote comes out and you see the name Naomi Black, vote. Vote for her often. Vote for her because I really want somebody from my area to just kick some ass on RuPaul's Drag Race, and she deserves it. She's a great girl. She's a great performer. You will not be disappointed if you vote her in RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7. That's Naomi Black. So when all that fan voting stuff comes out on the internet, all of you vote. Tell all of your friends to vote for Naomi Black. Do me a favor and do it, please, 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 please. I will thank you so much if we can get some good support to Naomi Black because she's applied every season and I know she's close to being on there, and next season could be it. Lucky 7. So vote Naomi Black, RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7. I'm going to say it in every video from now on. Naomi Black, Season 7. Alright, thanks for watching. Review on Snatch Game coming up. Take care.